Some of you know him as Ron Tall. The better of us know him as Bumblefoot, one of the guitarists from Guns N' Roses. How you doing today?
Very good, man. How are you doing?
I have to ask the question.
About the album?
Yes, about the Chinese Democracy. I know. I wouldn't be doing my job.
I know all the DMFs are sick of hearing the word soon.
Yeah.
But you guys haven't heard that the album is done recorded.
All right, excellent. There you have it. It is going to come out. Once again, soon is the word. From what I've heard from the leaks and from what I've heard live, it's going to be well worth the wait. And Bumblefoot, I can't thank you enough for your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
And you're welcome back anytime. And if you want to throw in some free backstage passes to me, I won't turn them away.
Very cool.
It's weird. I have a love-hate relationship with that album. You know, when people ask me, do I like it? You know, yeah, I like it. But, you know, there was some of the process was pretty hard, you know, doing it because Axl wanted it to be so great that, you know, we had to keep pushing it and pushing the boundaries. And, you know, and he would just, and that was my story about like, on the chart, which he never saw the charts, on one of the songs, there was like, I remember recording the whole song with Roy Thomas Baker, you know, maybe spending 3 days on this song until we got the perfect take because, you know, I had to play everything that Josh played exactly how he played it. And we finally got it. But I remember when we were listening to the playback, and this was like at 2 a.m. or something, I go, oh, shit. I was looking at the chart. I go, dude, I missed this one kick drum right at the beginning of the verse. And we listened back and we were like, yeah, but you hit the cymbal and you hit everything and then you kind of come in there. I don't, you know, I mean, it's, you know, let's just send it to him and check it. You know, we send it to him. You know, he gets it around 4 o'clock in the morning. We get the call and it was literally, yeah, I like it, but I think Brain forgot to hit a kick drum at the beginning of the, like he doesn't miss it. I was like, holy shit, again, it's like, this gig is kicking me out. Like is not fucking around. You can't get away with shit. Dude, it was so, and it was like, you know, this like lightest kick too. It was like, you know, 3 fucking P's on the fucking quarter note. It was like, just tap it. Just you know, a little tap. And I was like, I just forgot to tap it. It was like, yeah, but he, you know, Brain forgot to hit that. I was like, uh-oh. This is some serious shit. Like, he knows his shit. He's listening. Not like you know, we're just sending it up there for no reason and shit, you know.
Is there anything about the Unreleased song going down?
You know, I was wondering about that the other day myself. I don't really know what's going to happen with that song in the future or not. I'm still in touch with all those guys, and you know, I haven't really seen them since I saw the show last fall. But it's an interesting question, and I don't really have an answer for it. I don't know if they would ever put it out, being that I sang it, you know. But you never know. Axl he comes up with some different ideas about things all on his own, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know as well as you, but I'm just kind of like the typical reporter. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you mind if I ask how you first met Axl?
Yeah. Well, you know, Duff had quit, and my buddy Josh Freese was already playing drums with them. And I happened to be rehearsing, you know, the rehearsal hall when Josh came in for some other band he was working with or whatever, and he had joked about me coming out and trying it out, and they said, now we need a bass player, and, you know, he's kind of making fun of it kind of in a funny way, and I kind of said, I'll try it out. So I actually learned up a few songs and went out there just on a lark. And, you know, they videotaped it and sent it up to Axl, and he was really into it, and, you know, the rest is history. And he came down a couple of days after that. We met, and the idea I thought was pretty punk rock. I mean, and trying to maintain the whole thing without any of the other guys, the original lineup and stuff, was kind of ballsy, I thought. And I went in.
Came to Guns N' Roses. Was there ever a point where, like, I want to ride this for a while? Then with the recording of Chinese Democracy and seeing how long that was taking, is that why you decided to leave and just you didn't want to get down?
I mean, I will say this. I will say that, you know, Axl Rose being as intriguing and controversial as he's been in the past, as a entity and a rock star. Everyone always wants to, man, tell me some crazy Axl Rose stories. And I've said it a trillion times before, but it's just the truth. The time I spent with him, he was generous, he was cool, he was likable. I've never had any problem, and I don't have any funny story to tell you other than I got along great with him. And I was kind of sad to leave, because most people take it personally if you quit their band or if you leave the situation. And I don't know how personally he took it or not, but I was hoping that he wouldn't, because I liked the guy. And I've only seen him once since then. I ran into him during Coachella about 5 years ago, maybe. And he was super cool. He was great, and we had a laugh, and it was really nice to see him. But for me, the 2 years I spent in the studio with them, I had a 2-year contract, and when it was up, I was able to kind of like re-examine it and renew it or not. And I just didn't see them leaving that studio anytime soon. And I was kind of going, man, am I going to sit here for another 2 years in this control room in the studio while they like fidget with stuff? I don't know if I want to spend another 2 years of my life doing this, At the same time, on the weekends, I'd been kind of messing around with Billy Howardell and Maynard James Keenan and starting a Perfect Circle. And that was like a tangible, real thing. Like, hey, we're going to make a record and we're going to get a deal. And we're going to leave on tour in a couple months or next month or whatever it was. Like, we're going to book shows. Let's go. And I was like, okay, this is like a regular thing. This isn't being isolated up, in some ivory tower somewhere away from the rest of the world in a weird bubble, which I felt like kind of Guns N' Roses was. I mean, that being said, too, there's a lot of pressure on Axl, and he was kind of doing it without his regular band for the first time ever. So I think that was unnerving probably for him, and a little bit scary, But anyways, it was something that I enjoyed the time I spent down there, but I didn't want to sit around anymore. And that's kind of what it was looking like was going to happen. And they did kind of not sit around, but they spent a lot more time on the record still after I left. And I was glad that I made that record, The Perfect Circle, and went out on tour, and we started that. That was a little bit more of a real band to me, and something that I was really a part of from the ground up, rather than being the third or fourth drummer in line in a project. You know what I mean?
He wanted Guns at that point to be more of a collaborative, like an ensemble, and less of a star vehicle, for different people or whatever.
Did that have any kind of direction as to why that the song wasn't included, or that his version was not included on Chinese Democracy, as to not take away from this new album? Or was Jet?
I would imagine it was just maybe that it was what Brian brought to the table. Axl was just like, it's not doing it for me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and you know how it is. Like, you can have the greatest guitar player in the world play.
Yeah.
It's like, we had, when we were doing Downward Spiral, we had Adrian Belew come in, and play guitar on several tracks. And Adrian is like probably one of my favorite guitarists, like incredible guitarist. And he played all kinds of really cool stuff. And Trent didn't like hardly any of it, except for because it wasn't what he was envisioning,
I get that.
for the record. And in the end, he took, I think, 24 tracks of Adrian soloing and put them all together and used them as a swarm of bees in the beginning of Eraser. You know what I mean? And it's freaking brilliant. Like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it really creates this feeling of the hive, and the descent, and it really, really was cool. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like Adrian's singular voice playing melodic or amelodic lines in a song as a solo just wasn't fitting into what Trent was envisioning. You know what I mean? Like, or he maybe thought it might be cool, but it wasn't it turned out not to be what he wanted. And I think that's what happened with Axe.
Okay.
And that too, you know,
I guess
Axe is a huge Brian May fan. You know, I mean, obviously, you know,
Yeah.
Whatever, but like for that moment, it just wasn't the right thing, you know?
Yeah. Okay.